Welcome to Burns Hustles, where we turn side hustles into cash. Is Airbnb rental arbitrage still worth it in 2023? That's the question on many minds. As an approach where you rent properties and re-rent them on Airbnb for a profit, rental arbitrage has sparked significant interest. It's a business model that's seen its fair share of highs and lows, and as we stand on the threshold of the third decade of the 21st century, we're all wondering if it's still a viable option. Stay tuned as we delve into this intriguing question. First things first, let's clarify what Airbnb rental arbitrage is. This clever business model is all about renting a property long-term and then subletting it on Airbnb for short-term stays. The goal is to make a profit from the difference between the long-term lease payment and the income generated from the short-term rentals. It's like being a middleman but with properties. You don't own the property, yet you make money off it by leveraging the popularity of Airbnb as a platform for travelers seeking unique, homey accommodations. In the past, Airbnb rental arbitrage soared in popularity due to the potentially high returns. It attracted both seasoned investors and entrepreneurial individuals looking to capitalize on the growing trend of home sharing. But remember, knowledge is power. Understanding the concept thoroughly before investing is crucial to avoid pitfalls and make the most out of your venture. Now that we understand what Airbnb rental arbitrage is, we can explore its profitability. To evaluate the profitability of Airbnb rental arbitrage now, we need to look back at how profitable it was in the past. Airbnb rental arbitrage, as we know, involves renting a property and then subleasing it on Airbnb. This business model thrived in the past due to several factors. Let's dig into some of these key factors that made Airbnb rental arbitrage a lucrative venture. Firstly, the exponential growth of the Airbnb platform played a significant role. Launched in 2008, Airbnb quickly became a popular alternative to traditional hotels and accommodations. As the platform grew, so did the opportunities for rental arbitrage. By 2012, Airbnb had over 100,000 listings worldwide, and by 2016, this number had skyrocketed to over 2 million. This rapid expansion of the platform provided an ample market for rental arbitrageurs. Secondly, market demand was another crucial factor, as more and more travelers started preferring Airbnb over hotels for its unique, homely experience. The demand for Airbnb listings surged. This increased demand, coupled with the flexibility of being able to set competitive prices, meant that rental arbitrageurs could enjoy higher profits. Lastly, rental prices played a pivotal role. In many cities, long-term rental prices were relatively stable, while short-term rental prices, especially on platforms like Airbnb, were dynamic and could be adjusted based on demand and seasonality. This price difference between long-term leases and short-term rentals created an opportunity for arbitrageurs to make a profit. However, it's essential to note that while these factors created a favorable environment for Airbnb rental arbitrage in the past, they were not guarantees of success. Profitability depended on several variables, including the location of the property, the quality of the listing, and the host's ability to manage and market their Airbnb effectively. The past has shown us that Airbnb rental arbitrage can be profitable, but is that still the case today? Let's continue our journey to find out. Now, let's turn our attention to the present. Is Airbnb rental arbitrage still a lucrative venture in 2023? As we dive into the current year, 2023, we're seeing a shift in the landscape. The market conditions have changed, and these changes are significant for those considering Airbnb rental arbitrage. Firstly, rental prices have seen a considerable shift. In some areas, prices have escalated due to factors such as the rise in property values and increased cost of living. In other regions, prices have dipped, primarily influenced by local economic conditions and the ongoing impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's a mixed bag, and the profitability can vary significantly depending on your location. Speaking of the pandemic, it's impossible to ignore its impact on the Airbnb market. The global health crisis has influenced both supply and demand. On one hand, we saw a drop in demand during the height of the pandemic as travel restrictions and health concerns made people wary of shared accommodations. However, as we gradually move towards a new normal, there's been a resurgence in demand. People are eager to travel again, and they're turning to platforms like Airbnb for their accommodation needs. That brings us to regulations. The legal landscape surrounding Airbnb rentals has become more complex over the years. In many cities around the world, regulations have tightened, making it more challenging to operate a profitable Airbnb rental. These regulations can include restrictions on the type of property that can be rented, the duration of the rental, and even the number of properties that one host can list. It's essential to be aware of these factors and consider them when calculating potential returns. While the market has undoubtedly changed, opportunities still exist. The key is to be strategic, do your research, and understand the risks involved. Successful Airbnb rental arbitrage in 2023 requires a keen understanding of the market, careful selection of properties, and a knack for providing an experience that guests will love. Given these factors, it's clear that the Airbnb market has changed. But what does this mean for potential investors? After reviewing the past and present situations, we can now compare the profitability of Airbnb rental arbitrage. Let's dive into it. In the mid-2010s, when Airbnb was a relatively new concept, rental arbitrage was a goldmine for many. Low competition, high demand from travelers seeking unique accommodation experiences, and affordable long-term lease rates made it a lucrative venture. Fast forward to 2023, the landscape has changed quite significantly. The competition is stiffer, with more people entering the rental arbitrage space. This has led to a surge in the number of listings on Airbnb, making it harder for hosts to stand out and attract bookings. Rental rates for long-term leases have also seen an uptick in many popular destinations due to the rising cost of living and real estate prices. This means higher operating costs for rental arbitrage hosts. However, it's not all doom and gloom. The demand for Airbnb accommodations remains high, especially in tourist hotspots and cities with a shortage of affordable hotels. Moreover, the pandemic has ushered in a new wave of remote workers seeking long-term rentals, opening up another revenue stream for hosts. But with more profit potential comes more risk. Hosts now face the challenge of maintaining high occupancy rates amidst the competition. The risk of rental price hikes and the unpredictable nature of the travel industry are also things to consider. Additionally, stricter regulations and policies on short-term rentals in some cities have made rental arbitrage more complex. Hosts now have to navigate through these regulations to avoid hefty fines and penalties. So, to sum up, the profitability of Airbnb rental arbitrage in 2023 is not as straightforward as it was in the past. It's more competitive, riskier, and requires a more strategic approach. But with the right location, a well-curated property, and an understanding of the market trends, it can still be a profitable venture. So, is Airbnb rental arbitrage still worth it? Well, that's something we'll delve into in our final scene. Stay tuned. We've explored the profitability of Airbnb rental arbitrage in the past and present, and now it's time to answer our main question. Airbnb rental arbitrage has been a hot topic for years now, with its profitability fluctuating due to a myriad of factors. We've delved into the defining aspects of this business model, looked at its profitability in the past, and analyzed its current performance in the year 2023. Let's recap. Airbnb rental arbitrage is a strategy where you lease a property and then sublease it on Airbnb. The difference between your rent and what you earn from Airbnb is your profit. This model was quite lucrative in the past, with many hosts reporting substantial profits. However, the landscape has changed. 2023 has brought its own set of challenges and opportunities. The profitability of Airbnb rental arbitrage today hinges on a multitude of factors, from location and property management to market saturation and regulatory changes. Now, on to the big question: is Airbnb rental arbitrage still worth it in 2023? The answer isn't a simple yes or no, it's more nuanced than that. The profitability of Airbnb rental arbitrage in 2023 depends greatly on your ability to adapt to changing market conditions and effectively manage your property. If you're considering this business, keep a few things in mind. First, location is key. Properties in tourist hotspots or near major business centers tend to perform better. Second, invest time in understanding your local regulations. Some cities have strict rules about short-term rentals, and violating these can lead to hefty fines. Third, effective property management can make or break your venture. This includes everything from maintaining the property to providing exceptional customer service. Lastly, remember that market saturation is a real concern. The more hosts there are in an area, the stiffer the competition. You'll need to find ways to make your listing stand out, be it through superior amenities, competitive pricing, or unique experiences. In conclusion, Airbnb rental arbitrage can still be a profitable venture in 2023, but it requires careful planning, smart strategies, and a willingness to adapt. It's not the easy money-making scheme it may have once been, but for those willing to put in the work, it can certainly pay off. Remember, every investment comes with its risks. Do your research, consider all factors, and make the decision that's right for you. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more informative content.